We were building a wild concept car for a celebrity that got canceled about halfway through the project, which left us thinking, what are we gonna do with all these cool parts? To which Ethan answered, Monster Chopper. So over the last 7 months, we have been fitting these 46-inch mud tires to this KTM engine in a completely custom monster truck chopper build. And today, for the first time, we're going to try to get this thing started. Also, we're giving away an ARC droid, a welder, and this custom drift quad on our website, grindhardplumbingco.com. We have a bunch of new merchandise. Every $5 spent gives you an entry to win. Plus, the Premium Members Club gives you access to exclusive content and 2 entries every single month. Good luck.
I got the rest of the parts for the fuel system. It's hooked up here. So I've got my little quick releases, so you can just pop that one, pop this one. I might relocate that one. I don't quite like where it's at, but. And then the whole fuel tank just pops right off.
Yeah, it's really nice and easy.
Yeah, and then right here, we've got the fuel pressure regulator tucked in there with the little T-fitting. And then this one goes around and into the fuel rail. But I think I basically just have to plug in all the wires and fill that with fuel, and then I need to rewire the fuel pump wiring to run to this. It's, this isn't exactly just gonna fit. I'll just figure out what I need of this, get it all plugged in, and then we'll do a test start, and then with it able to be started, I can start trimming this harness down and deleting stuff that we don't need. I've already decided I probably don't need that. That's just all the handlebar controls for cruise control with the horn and the blinkers. Most of this harness is gonna go away. I just have to figure out what's necessary and what I can get away with removing. Like, do I need to use this ignition? Does it have a chip in it? I don't know. I hooked up this lithium battery earlier. I tested it and thought it had no volts, but I just got a new electrical tester and I just didn't know how to use it. I was fiddling around here with everything plugged in, and like, look at all these plugs, right? They're all like very insulated, very nice. Look at this plug. This looks like something that you would use for like aftermarket, or aftermarket like trailer wires. But that thing was unplugged, and when I plugged it in, that's the thing that wasn't.
What the heck? What does that even go to?
I mean, various things. It goes to this handlebar control. So that makes sense. That sounds promising. I wish I knew what that squeaky noise was. It used to, it made that before too, like when it was on but not running.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know, something in the throttle bodies or something. Out of curiosity, do we need? Doesn't seem like we need that. It's broken anyway.
Fuel pump cycle?
Yep. All right. Well, in that case, I think all we need to do is get these wires arranged so that I can put the fuel tank on, put some fuel in it, and it'll start. See if the fuel pump actually primes. Sounded like it did. We'll cycle it once more to make sure there's no leaks. Okay. Seemingly no leaks. All right. Well, I guess.
that in my chest.
How is it louder than the Colonel? It's the same basic engine with a longer exhaust pipe.
Yeah, you can feel it.
That is the kind of noise that's like eardrum rupturing noise. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like high pitch,
No,
it's
no,
like
you
low.
don't even hear it. You feel it.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
you do
can
hear
feel
it,
it.
but you also feel it. That's
That
the noise
is
you feel.
crazy.
And that was like half RPM too. Well, actually, I don't know what the RPM was because the tack is broken, but
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna check that because I noticed one of the wires. I have the tack unplugged right now, the whole dash cluster, but I noticed one of the wires came out. So if I can repin that, I'm gonna try it out and find out if the tack works.
That is so cool.
That was way
sounds-
too easy to get that running.
Like a monster chopper.
Like, this thing's always gonna be scary to drive, but hearing that noise coming from it makes it
like
a lot scarier.
Way scarier.
It's so much power. For anyone that said this is underpowered, nah. It's like 160 horsepower, nearly 100 foot-pounds of torque. Should do the trick. And it's geared down like 4 times what it was, so
That is insane.
yeah.
I can't believe how easy that just started. Just
I mean-
plugged right in.
I love 2 things. KTM engines and fuel injection. Just
Fuel injection.
works. I hate all the wiring that goes with it, but when you just plug it in, it just works. Now I have to find a place for some of this wiring,
And that.
this entire thing, and this, and the battery,
yeah.
without making it look like poop. Stuff is so sticky. I hate it. Get off me. So many wires. Pile of wires on the floor is growing though. That's the goal. There's some things in here that I'm not certain about. Like this one, I'm pretty sure it's the fan, just from memory and context. But I don't know, so I have it labeled as fan, question mark. I'm about ready to hook this up and test start again to make sure I haven't damaged anything, and then to start snipping wires for things that I want to delete, but I'm not certain if I can.
Oh.
Pretty much everything that I know I can cut out. I'm gonna hook it back up, make sure it still works, and then start testing some stuff to see if I can, see what I can get away with deleting. That is so loud. Cool. That means now I can start unplugging and testing things. One of the things I want to test is if there's anything in this module that needs to exist. Like, can I just hook up the things that are hooked up in here with a different switch? Because this is just huge and ugly and bulky.
I have a very nice surprise for you.
Oh, what is it?
Well, I know you crush boots in about
2 months.
Yeah.
Every boot I've had, I've gone through in 2 months.
And so it's pretty incredible that these Brut boots have lasted you a whole year and they still look fine.
They still have tread on them. Usually, I have holes in the bottom of my boots.
Like, I actually cannot believe. So, of all the people we wanted to work with again,
Brunt boots.
Brunt boots, and we got you a freshie pair.
Shoo!
And these have got you safe through life this year.
These have put out probably 25 fires in the shop so
actually.
They probably have been.
far. These are nice. They feel like I've worn them for a year. They're like all broken in and super comfortable.
Yeah, dude. So it's all right here. I found on their site. Oil and heat resistant outsoles up to 572
Dude,
degrees
I told
Fahrenheit.
you. I told you there was something different about these boots. They snuff the fire out so much better than my Nike shoes or anything like that.
Let's
These things.
test that theory.
All right.
All right, man. I trust you, but just in case.
Nice.
Ethan's been gone for actually about an hour, and we're already lighting fires on purpose in his garage. Built a little different.
That might be the answer to my question. It's not a simple how and why is there so much going on in there. That is so annoying. I don't think I can delete this. Look at all this circuits in the freaking ignition. It's got like that's enough computer to run the space shuttle. It's actually probably more computing power than the space shuttle had.
Oh no.
What the heck? And it's all epoxied in?
Now, that's not really the issue. The problem is just there's absolutely no way I can replicate what that's doing without having that.
Does something,
Wow,
and that
that's-
computer reads it.
It still starts, so I can now confidently delete everything that is not currently hooked up. And like this bundle of wires here is for the lights, and like this bundle here went to the switches on the handlebar and stuff. But I've decided that it's going to be much easier to just delete all of that and then wire my own lighting system, because I don't need the lights to go through a computer. The moral of the story is don't be an idiot like me and get yourself some of these before you do any wiring work. These are little depinning tools. I've never had them before because I am an idiot. These pins that go into the one that actually plug into the regulator are the same as these pins that go to this extra plug for this section of harness. So I unpinned those, and now I can just take these and straight into there. Like that. That is one of the most satisfying things I have ever done. It's the little things, you know? Look at that. And look at all of that weight reduction! Got all the extra wires removed from those plugs. That one, these two. So, wiring harness is getting slimmer by the minute. Now, I need to figure out where everything's gonna go so I can cut out everything in the middle and make it as tidy as possible. This bit here might be one of the last pieces I figure out where it goes, because I need to figure out where the battery goes. These are going to work because they're just different. They're the right diameter of pin, but you can see this one has the little slot on there, which is probably for the locking thingy, and that one does not. All right, well, it was worth a try. I'm sure these will come in handy for something. Use some of these little itty bitty heat shrink crimpies. Most of the harness tidied up and organized. It's time to start mounting stuff. And I was looking for a good place to mount this voltage regulator. And it turns out that the voltage regulator is exactly the same width as these tabs that I use to mount the fuel pump. So right now, I just have it zip tied on there just so I can tidy up the rest of the wiring harness before I make mounts. But I can just make mounts that go off of the fuel pump mounts right there, and then it'll be pretty much invisible behind the fuel pump.
Nice.
And nice and tidy, and on this side of the bike. Hashtag every gram counts, but pounds don't. Or something. Do you remember what the harness used to look like? Like maybe we can do like a before, cut to the old footage, after. Before, cut to the footage of the harness the way it was, after. That's pretty much the whole harness now. I mean, not counting the engine harness that's still attached to the engine and a few, sub harnesses that go to switches and stuff, but like the main piece that I was just dangling around has been, I think we can say it's been properly decimated.
Actually, maybe literally decimated.
Yeah, I mean, like look at the pile. That's one pile on the floor. There's another pile on the floor. If this is more than a tenth of what was there, I'd be surprised. Not that decimate means specifically 1/10, just a factor of 10. So that is gonna bolt in here with one of the gas tank bolts.
That's crazy that you were able to take something that was like essentially as long as me.
It was longer than you,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, as long as like
We just measure everything with will. The batteries in the chain link, way more than a will.
Yeah.
The harness, longer than a will.
than a will.
Time to put the tank back on and find out if it still starts. Huh?
You just took the key out and then
I took the key out and I turned this on and it still cycled. That's really weird. I don't know what I messed up, but I messed up something. Will, check this out. I thought you might be entertained by this.
I'm interested.
So, what I've learned is that this is a chipped key and the immobilizer is in the ignition. We kind of talked about that the other day.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me.
But I found a way. So this whole module
Yeah.
is solid state. There's no electronics inside of the key ignition itself, which is really interesting, right?
That is really
So I looked
weird.
at that and I was like, okay, but it does actually turn the bike on and off.
How?
So the only way it could possibly do that is with a magnet, and I tested that with this. So this housing is all non-magnetic,
Yeah.
and it happens to be reverse the opposite polarity here, but
Yeah,
there's a magnet in there.
Oh.
So
So it literally just allows the connection between the key and the.
this is a magnet, and if it's over here, the bike is off. If it's over here, the bike is on.
Huh?
Location.
So you can just take that key apart and put that stuff.
What
in
I'm gonna
there.
do is just epoxy all of this into this unit and just hide it under there, because I don't want this
You don't
bulky
need a
ignition.
key.
I don't need a key.
You have a switch.
I'm just like, yeah, no one's gonna
Yeah.
steal this.
No.
Now here comes the stressful part. I don't know why. Like, I know that this chunk of the key is just metal and the chip is inside this plastic part, but it's very stressful cutting it off, because like if it suddenly doesn't work, I'm gonna feel like a real idiot. All right, well, with a bit of very delicate work last night after everybody else left, I got this soldered back together and it works. So the hard part was digging these wires out of the plastic. Oh look, and I just broke one of my solders. Well, now you get to watch me solder one. And now that I'm realizing, that little piece of wire just got too small and brittle, but I realized that a single strand of this wire is the same thickness, so I redid it with that. And I'm realizing that if I got slightly longer pieces, I could potentially move this over here, but it's probably not worth it. So anyway, let's do a test here. It's so sensitive.
Like you move it a millimeter and then it decides not to go.
Boo. Well, I really don't know what I did differently, but it's working now. And I encased it all in JB plastic weld epoxy. And the tape is just to hold the wires tight to it and, you know, keep it tidy. So, I guess I just got real lucky with that one. Almost ruined the day and this video. But I think I'll just have it sit somewhere back here if that clears the gas tank and zip tie it in place and just hope it continues to work. It works. Hallelujah, as you like to say.
Hallelujah.
Also, in other good news, I got my stupid hair fixed.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was the worst haircut I've ever had. So, my next mission here is to figure out how to mount this ECU. My plan is to have it kind of under the seat here, but I put this, the fuel outlet in a place that I thought was convenient, but it kind of makes it hard to mount this, so. Well, I've designed up my ECU holder filled with triangles. Time to go cut it out and see how it actually works. Well, it looks cool. Slag on stainless is like very sticky. It's annoying. Sure looks cool though. Way too cool for a dang computer mount. Two out of 3 tabs done. Got my little teeny tiny tab. Now, I'm kind of afraid to tap it because the hole has been plasma cut, but well, that ECU mount turned out very nice. Honestly, much more aesthetically pleasing than I was expecting. For a while there, I thought I was gonna have to like hang down underneath the seat, but right there, it's dang near invisible.
Yeah, it seems like you got it to fit in there like
Yeah.
really snugly.
It's very tight, and there is a chance that one of the wires will rub through because they're so snug in there, but you know, if it suddenly stops working, I'll know why. I'll let you know after the road trip to Sturgis. On the mission to have brakes, this is a CBR 900 master cylinder, and it is 5/8 diameter, which, if you remember my testing last time, 5/8 is about the diameter we need for the rear brakes to work. working on the rear brakes here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and have to take the rear wheel off, because I originally thought, well, I know I'm gonna have to, because this was a temporary line, and also it got yoinked moving the bike around. That was, how often will you have to take off the rear fender? Well, once the bike's finished, probably not that many times, but in the remainder of the building process, probably many times. Got the rear brake line run, zip tied in place. I'll make better fasteners and zip ties later, but I figured, why not do a little test here. It's not a great test of the brake because it's not very rigid yet without having a second mount. The brake not only stops this, but it could also probably use some new pads. Those have been on there for a long time. We have something that resembles brakes anyway. They might need some more bleeding too.